flown combat air missions in Baghdad. I did 2 tours of duty in Saudi Arabia, and now the halls of Congress is kind of my next deployment. I come from a military family. Service is something that my parents mandated for all of their children. My dad's a retired colonel in the military. My sister's a West Point grad, served 23 years active duty. I'm a West Point grad, 8 years active duty as an Apache pilot. My brother's also a West Point grad, served 5 years in the Navy. So there's almost 60 years worth of military service just in my immediate family. So when the service ended in terms of serving in the military, my parents were very big on A, you get a good education, and then B, you find ways to continue to serve this nation. And for me personally, that meant running for Congress to make sure that I can continue to defend what I literally fought for 15 years ago.
How has the values that were instilled in you through your service there translated over into the House of Representatives?
Most importantly, you look at the people that you serve with. It doesn't matter where they were from. It doesn't matter what they look like. You just want to make sure that you and your fellow soldiers get home alive, get home in one piece. And what you really find out is we are all Americans in this fight first. That's it. And while the America First movement triggers a lot of people, that's actually what it is. It's about putting the priorities of this country and Americans first, and that's what I learned in the military. What you see is the major votes and all the fighting and all the stuff on social media, but behind closed doors, we get a lot of stuff done. I had my first bill signed into law. It's an energy, oil, and gas bill. It's the most pro-energy, oil, and gas bill that we've seen the Biden administration sign into law. And the only way I got this done is by working with Democrats across the aisle, the Natural Resources Committee. And Joe Biden, the Democrat that, quite frankly, you could probably imagine I'm probably not the biggest fan of, signed it into law. I am the only Republican that's entirely in Harris County, and I'm surrounded by all Democrats. So when it comes to issues that are pro-Houston, like the ship channel, like flooding, like energy and oil and gas, you'd be surprised at how well we work together behind the scenes.
Is that your proudest moment so far?
Getting pro-energy, oil and gas work done in my district that has the entire energy corridor encompassed in my district is what's most important to me. I'm very blessed to be able to have a district where I know exactly what I need to do. It's energy, energy, energy. But my proudest moment was a couple of years ago getting elected into office, winning by over 30 points in a very conservative seat is something that I'm the most proud of, because that's 1 million people that have entrusted me with their vote, and I take that very seriously. It's my job to keep the federal government, or do the best I can to keep the federal government out of your lives. And how do we pass things that benefit the American people and not benefit other countries? That's been my biggest fight. I feel like a lot of my frustrations, a lot of my colleagues don't view it that way. They care more about the Ukrainian border than our own border. And so it's voices like me that try our best to set the record straight. I've never spent a single weekend in D.C. I flew on 130 flights last year to make sure that I got to see my 1.5-year-old little boy grow up so he knows who his father is. It's a very grounding thing, because while I come home and make sure that he knows who I am, it also forces me to come home and look at the people that I represent every single weekend, so you don't get caught up in what's going on in the swamp. You actually have to talk to and face the people that you represent. So if you take a bad vote, or if you do something that's against the will of the people that you represent, you're going to hear about it. If you want to be in Congress, or if you want to be in public service at some point in your future, get off social media. Don't say anything stupid. Period. The only thing you should be posting about on social media is puppies, delicious food, and vacation. Because we live in a very nasty world where people will take what you have said as a young person and twist it against you. So you have to be very disciplined right now if you want to be where I'm at, where I am right now. Fortunately, I was very disciplined with what I did and what I said in my youth, which oftentimes we lack wisdom in our youth. How you behave personally will certainly dictate where you land in the future.